Welcome to this episode of the Cory Cast, where I sit down with my friend TJ. TJ owns a clothing company called Detroit Boxing Company, and they make some really comfortable stuff. And I'm not just saying that because we had an episode together. I'm not sponsored by TJ. This is really some comfortable stuff. All his clothes and his shirt look great, and they're so freaking comfy, you know? I swear, not an advertisement. This conversation, we talked all about how he started the company up, where it's at now, and what his future goals and aspirations are for Detroit Boxing Company. I'm excited to share this episode with you because TJ is a great dude. So without any hesitation, here's my friend TJ. Perfect. Okay, first of all, thank you for doing this. Second of all, you make awesome gear. I love this. I'm wearing one of your shirts right now. It's so comfy. So tell us your name and your company and what you do.
Yeah, TJ Ulin. I do Detroit Boxing Company. It's just, as of right now, it's an apparel line. So I just contacted a company like within the last few weeks, which you're familiar with, as far as getting some gloves going. And I feel like that's like the main thing in my head, that I'm like, okay, I'm a legit boxing company. Once I have the gloves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before that, as of right now, it's like I'm a t-shirt company. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. What made you want to start the apparel line?
I was at a boxing gym in Detroit called Underdog, and I went to a few like drop-in classes, like hitting the bag or whatever. It's kind of like a mixture of I guess that and like one of those like boxing fitness classes, you know what I mean, where it's kind of like it's not boxing, but it's more of like almost like a fitness thing. At least that's the idea I have of it now, looking back on it.
It's more like Tybo. It was like Tybo, right? Oh yeah, I think you just muted yourself. I think in the bottom of the menu there should be like a mute button, like mute, stop camera, cam mic.
There we go.
Hey, hell yeah, there you go.
Cool.
So you're saying it was like a Tybo class, kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like fitness, and I guess it was like a legitimate boxing gym, but it wasn't like you're like sparring and like or anything like that. And I went online like looking at like boxing like apparel, you know what I mean? Like you have like Roots of Fight and Box Raw, which I feel like Roots of Fight does a good job as far as displaying like fighters, like in honoring classic fighters. But and then Box Raw, like they have their own like sauna suits and stuff like that. So
nice.
But other than those two, as far as like boxing goes, I felt like no one has like cool looking merchandise. So I was like, why don't I just make up my own thing and see, if no one likes it, I'll wear it. And
right. You're like, I'll just do it for myself.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, the first run I did, I think 25 shirts, and I made like an Instagram, and I sold like 22 of them in like 2 days, and I was like, I think this is gonna stick. So I just like every dollar that the company's made, it's just been rolled back into it to build it. So
that's funny because that's exactly what Critter does with 13. It's the same. Whatever money he makes on it, he dumps that money right back into the club. He just uses it to order more cool shit.
Yeah. Him and I talk all the time, bounce ideas off of each other. Like, even though we're in different lanes, it's, I guess, kind of the same passion. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's good having him to kind of pick his brain a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
How long were you planning on doing this? Like, what was the process? How did you come up with a name? How did you figure out what the first design was?
I just wanted something simple. I don't really like busy designs in general. Like I don't wear busy stuff in my everyday
Yeah.
life. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
something,
Same.
boom, that's it. Um, so I just got on like one of those like shirt creator websites, you know, and I was just like typing in like different names, and I had like Detroit Boxing Company and Detroit Boxing Supply.
Mm.
And I was like, and then I'm again, I asked my fiance, I'm like, I think I'm going to start this company, and you know, whatever. And I was like, what do you think? And she's like, yeah, definitely go with the company. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're glad we did,
Yeah.
because at
Because
this point,
supply sounds like it's a warehouse, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then when you finally had put it, how long would you say from idea when this first popped in your head to fully printing those first 25 shirts? How long of a process was that for you to like actually pull the trigger? Was it 6 months? Was it a year?
It was like 2 weeks.
Mm, really? You know
Mhm.
what's funny is it's a lot of times it seems to be the opposite. When somebody starts a business, it seems to be they sit and think on it and think, and then they overthink, and then it never happens.
Yeah, I just go with anything I do. I'm just like all in. Let's
Dude,
roll.
hell yeah, I respect that. I like that. That
Absolutely.
that's pretty sweet. And so when you had launched it, you did your first 25 shirts, and then what was the next product that you put out from it? Was there another t-shirt? Was it a sweater or
Yeah. So the first shirts I put out were like gray with the black logo, and and then you know people on Facebook like, yeah, dude, I would buy one if it was black with white, or I'd buy one if it was you know this or that color. And I printed the black with the white, which I feel like is you know the classic colors anyway, as far as like what a lot of people would wear.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so I did that, and then I did like the new era snapbacks. That
Mhm.
was my next thing. So
Yeah. So it's always these little steps, right? It's always like, all right, first we'll do the t-shirt, then we'll do the hats, next is boxing gloves, then after that will be like legit boxing shorts, right?
yeah. I mean, eventually, yeah, for sure. I want to definitely be like a contender, like in the top, you know, the top companies when people are like, oh, I want to buy some new stuff. Let me, you know.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Roots of Fight because that's the first company I think of when you talk about boxing stuff. It's the first thing that I do. Oh, Roots of Fight. It's got Bruce Lee shit. It's got
Yeah.
Mike Tyson stuff. Like, and going through your website, it seems like that's what you guys do. Like, you guys have a lot of featured T-shirts for people, right?
Right. Yeah. And like, I mean, clearly that's like an inspiration is, you know, they're an inspiration yeah, to what we're doing. But I wanted to specifically highlight, you know, Michigan fighters, whether it be boxers, MMA.
Yeah.
I'm open to you know whatever. So
I was just saying, when I looked at this shirt too, and when I was looking through your website, I was like, oh shit, did I read this right? It's a platinum Mike Perry t-shirt. Holy
yeah,
cow. I was like, damn, I had to read it for a second. I had to do a
yeah,
double take. I didn't even know he was from Flint, Michigan.
yeah. So yeah, he was born in Flint. I think he was actually raised in Florida, but
Oh, okay.
I spent part of my youth in Flint. So I took that. I was like one that was like close. I was like, I have to do this shirt.
Have you grown up in Detroit?
No, not at all. Actually, no.
Oh, really? What
So,
did you grow up in Michigan though?
yep. Yeah, born in Lapeer, and then I was, you know, around 7 or 8 years old. I moved to Flint, and then up into like middle of freshman year, I was in Flint. Yeah,
Oh,
so
interesting. Are you still in Flint right now?
no, and I never will be again. No,
Is it really as bad as people say with the water conditions and stuff?
I have a few friends that still live there. My dad lives probably 3 miles north, and I mean, it's clearly it's not a good thing. I'm not like saying like no, I'd never move back to you know talk trash on it or anything, but it's like I feel like I've like moved on. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that part of my life is like really molded me into who I am. So there's no trash talk on Flint at all. I just know that you know I have kids now, and
Yeah.
I raise them in the safest environment possible with the best
Yeah.
schools. So that's where
Right.
I'm at.
How far are you from Detroit?
Actually, I just moved like far as hell.
Oh.
So
Oh, really?
yeah, I still work in Detroit, but yeah, I actually live like 39 miles north. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
Yeah, right. Is
Yeah.
Detroit really as bad as, because usually when you think of Detroit, a lot of people immediately think that it's like a rundown city. Is it still that bad, or is that just a giant misconception?
I guess, I mean, downtown, midtown area is like built up. You know, you got like Little Caesars Arena, and you got like Quicken Loans downtown. So downtown's actually pretty nice. Yeah. But once you get a little
Gotcha.
bit out, you know, maybe half mile to a mile out, it's a different story for sure.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's because everybody seems to think that the second you mention Detroit, they're like, "Oh, what a shithole." But I think it's just the same as any other city. It's a great, like, every city is awesome in their own regards, but they probably have their bad spots, right? Like, they're up and coming,
Yeah,
or they're getting
absolutely.
rebuilt. And are there actual like ghost towns in Detroit? Like, there's a ghost part where it used to be a neighborhood and it's just totally wiped out.
There's definitely like those like dilapidated areas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I feel
it's
like
like,
every city's got that, you know?
absolutely. It's not like somewhere where it's like, hey, let's go there. Like,
Yeah, for
like,
sure, right. Yeah, no, that's Detroit is one city I've always had that I've wanted to take a look at, just because there's so much history in that city, from like all the cars that are manufactured there. Like, it's a big car city, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So yeah, going back to the Detroit boxing stuff. So the next plan is to make some boxing gloves, hopefully.
Yeah, yep. I've been actually emailing back and forth with him. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of like stuck right now on what color I want to do first. You know what I mean? Do I want to do
Yeah.
black? I want to do white? I don't know.
See,
So
I'm partial to white. I love white boxing gloves because they look so freaking clean. But black or red are like the classic colors. You know, that's the first ones everybody always picks. You know.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was like, that's. I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, like the white looks so clean, but the black is so classic. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's hard to pick, right?
probably throw like one of those like questions up on the story on Instagram or something, and have like
Yeah.
5 people decide. You know?
Yeah, fine. That's what I always tell when I ask somebody if they want to be on the show. I always say, "Hey, listen, the podcast is not like fucking Joe Rogan numbers. I'm not pulling 10 million download. Like, it's probably 40 listens, and 30 of them are my mom, and the other 10 are my dad. Listen, so it's like, it's I know what you mean when you're like, oh yeah, probably 10 people, but it's all right. You're getting it's engagement. People feel like they're part of the business. I think that's a smart move on your part.
Yeah.
When you order those boxing gloves, do you get like a set of testers so you know that they fit well? You can kind of work with them a little bit, or is it
Yeah,
just
it was
like you
actually
get the standard design?
Yeah, I was actually just emailing with him, and the ones that I talked to him on the phone for a little bit, and we are kind of going back and forth about what we should get, and you know, they had like the synthetic or the leather and so on. So yeah, I'm to the point where I'm actually about to send him like the money for the wholesale pair of the style that I want.
So you can try it out yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I just with like everything. Like I usually like print something like I just did those like some sweat shorts and joggers. I'll like order stuff like one and then like wear it for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, this is sweet. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna order these, or these aren't good. I'm not gonna order these. So
Yeah, I think that's important, especially when you run a business. I think especially a clothing line, you really want to test that stuff out. You know, like, you really want to make sure the quality is what you want, right? Especially because it's a reflection of you and your company.
yeah, and I don't want somebody buying like they buy the gloves and they're just like trash, and then they're like
Yeah,
never supporting that company again.
right. Because all it takes is, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pairs of boxing gloves upstairs, and I think only one of them, no, two pairs are from the same company. I've just, every time I bought a pair, I'm just like, I'll try this company. Like Torque really had great boxing gloves, but the Velcro shit out on the first probably year that I had them, and they're kind of unusable. I think I could get them to a tailor. I think a tailor will do Velcro repair on them, but
Yeah,
I'm at the point where I'm just like, the inside was kind of falling apart. So
Yeah,
And
I've
that's
kind
all it takes is like one bad experience, and then they never come back to you for gloves.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've done the same thing where it's like I bought like the cheap pair of gloves, and then I bought like the next step up, and and so on. So yeah, it's like once like I don't want to wear like right now I have like the Cleto Reyes. I don't want to like wear those, and then I order our gloves, and they like are trash. You know
Yeah,
what I
they don't mean? Meet your expectations.
Right, yeah. Because when I put those like Cleto Reyes on, I'm like, dude, ready for my first pro fight like tonight, dude.
Are they laced up?
No, these are just like the bag gloves.
Yeah, I one day I'm gonna splurge and get some laced up gloves only because they look so freaking cool, and I also want someone else to put my boxing gloves on for me. I want someone else to tie them up for me,
Yeah,
even though they seem like a
feel you, yeah.
massive pain in the ass to use.
Yeah, I'm like,
So
dude,
with
why would you do that?
yeah, right. Unless you're doing like a pro fight, right? That's really the only reason. How long have
Yeah.
you been training and doing boxing?
Like that was in like 2000, probably late 2018. I just kind of went in there. But up until then, it's like I've been like a fan of boxing and like mixed martial arts for like ever. It was
Oh,
boxing first, and then I, into
yeah.
mixed martial arts and stuff. But yeah, I was like in the Marines, so like I just thought like, dude, I can whoop anybody's ass, How am I wrong, dude?
Yeah, it's
Just
kind of a
punch in the face like immediately. I'm like, oh, okay, my arms are tired. Like, what's going on?
right,
So
right, and especially Thai is doing Muay Thai is fun, but you have kicking, right? And doing only punching rounds that tires me out more than anything. I could kick all day. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I could kick for 5 rounds nonstop, and I feel pretty good. But I
yeah.
cannot punch for 5 rounds like that. Just I don't have it in me to do that. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude. I actually I have like weights in my office at work, like the 3 pound and the 2 pound. I'll just sit there like,
Right.
like,
That's a good idea.
please let me last longer next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
right. Man, title of my sex tape. Damn, dude. So you have another job on top of this, right? What do
yeah,
you do as your full-time gig?
I work at the Veterans Hospital.
Oh,
Which is,
so how do you juggle all of this? Like how on top of being working full-time, doing the t-shirt company and also being a father and training?
I would say my fiance for sure. Like
Yeah.
she like holds it down no matter what. It's like anything like I bring up, you know what I mean? She takes it seriously. Like, hey, I know you. Like anything I do, I'm like passionate about. So it's not like I'm just like, let me try this for a week, or you know what I mean? So I would say she probably makes it happen more than anything. But my mind never shuts off. So
Mm.
I might be thinking about the company like, 4 or 5 hours while I'm at work, like in my
Yeah.
head, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
Right. Trying
yeah.
to piece it together or trying to think of the next design that's coming up. And do you one thing I wanted to ask too is do you print your shirts in-house? Because I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Critter has a print like a screen printer at his place.
Yeah, Critter actually he does some of his. I'm maybe the majority of his he does, but
Okay.
certain stuff that he outsources to like a print shop that we're both familiar with, Edgman.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Is that who you kind of contract a lot of your work out to?
yeah. So I was like in a hardcore band for a long time, and
Dude,
these,
of course. Of
yeah,
course. It's so fun. I gotta say, because it's all started with my friendship with Chris Smith. And then I did the podcast with Critter, and Critter's like, dude, I got people who want to do your show. Here's reach out to my boy TJ. He would love to do your show. And I
yeah.
reached out to you, and that makes sense. Hardcore music. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you like that whole thing. It's like you kind of want to like support your own. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like I kind of came up with these guys, and they've always been cool. So why not work together? Like, why
Yeah.
not give my money to these guys instead of some company that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That
No,
won't even remember your first name.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you have that company, they print all the shirts for you and everything?
Yeah, I have them, and then and one other guy who also does a lot of work with like hardcore bands. So
Oh, okay. So is the goal to get like your own print shop, or would you rather just keep kind of contracting it out?
I think it would probably be cool if I just had like a one color. You know what I mean? Just for my
Mhm.
logo stuff. That way I could, hey, you want a yellow shirt with pink? Oh, boom, got it. You know what I'm saying? Not that
Right.
you would, but
Yeah. And what's the process when you pick out the t-shirt or the sweater material? Because I'm not listen, I'm going to tell everybody right now, you are not a sponsor of my show. I'm not just saying this because you're on my show, but this sweater is really comfortable. Like how and it's not like a traditional like a sweatshirt that I would wear, but it's super comfortable. So how do you pick them out?
yeah, like I said, it's like you like order a couple and see how they fit, how they feel, what the quality is, and if they're good, go with it. Like the one you have on there, like dude, they're so soft.
Yeah,
It's like
it's so
you just
soft.
want
It's like a
to
baby's bottom.
yeah, dude. Like, I know exactly. Yeah, yeah. I
That's
actually
awesome.
ordered. I had like the first one I did like that. I ordered myself was that it was maybe like a darker gray that almost has like a sand color to it or tint to
Yeah.
it. Have you noticed that?
The
Yeah,
the uh the light kind of messes up. It makes the Detroit look like it's green, but it's
yeah.
actually
I don't know
teal.
if it's just me or
And
whatever.
the hoodie is like a sandy beigeish color, which is
Yeah,
nice.
like what is it called? Like heather stone or something like that.
That almost sounds like like a Pottery Barn candle scent.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them like, dude, let's not put that color on the description, okay?
Yeah, the Pottery Barn color scheme.
Well, yeah,
No, that's
put
cool, man. I really like that. Like, it's just so cool, especially in this day and age. It seems very, I don't want to say easy because I feel like it kind of takes away from what you're doing, but it seems easier to start a clothing line. Like, you launched this how long ago?
May 1st or something of like 2019, I think was like the first post on that page.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And look at all these shirts. These shirts are so cool. And then most of these shirts are all of them designed by you, or do you have somebody else who helps you design them?
Yeah, so I like draw them and I'll have to send you some yeah, that has nothing to do with the company. Just a
No,
great
that was such a great fight. I just pulled it up.
yeah. Yeah.
So you have another person helps you, or no?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I draw them like, and I'm probably the worst artist ever. Sure, I could pull like a picture up real quick just to show. Oh, it's rough, dude. Like the stuff I send him, and then the stuff he sends back. It's just so funny. Like,
Well, that's good. Is this another one of your friends you met in a hardcore band?
he's not in a hardcore band, but oh, he is in a hardcore band. Yeah, actually, he was. Yeah.
That's funny. I will say one thing about the hardcore scene is everybody supports everybody, and it seems every single one of you guys I met is just so friendly. They're so friendly and so positive.
Yeah, I think when you find your group of people, it like it clicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And also unexpected for a bunch of dudes who smash in a mosh pit and hit each other. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't expect that kind of sweet mellow behavior.
Yeah, I actually don't mosh, dude.
You don't? No, it's probably better that way.
Yeah, no, I would probably take it personal. No, enjoy the risk, dude.
How many hours would you say in a week do you devote to the clothing line?
It really depends. Like this Tommy Hearns thing, I'm like, trying to push it, contact people, and you know what I mean. Like, so it's like off and on throughout the day. I feel like I'm just putting time into it. So I couldn't even give you a actual time frame.
Yeah, there's some people who are very methodical about that. And they're like, I put X amount of time in my. I just spend time thinking. I'm a real estate agent, so I don't tally up my hours at the end of the week, but I'm probably like 40, 45, maybe some weeks 50. There's some weeks I don't really do too much, so it's hard to tally that up. But some people are so methodical about that. I just like to show that there's different methods to things, right? Like you could be very successful and spend your 5 hours a week at this, like it's kind of in a sense where I was telling 13 about 13 Critter about 13 was you kind of get what you put into it with a clothing company, right? You kind of, if you invest all your time and all your money into it, you're gonna get that stuff back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like I mean, even our labels, like now we have like the printed the thing that prints the labels and all that stuff, like the bags, the black bags and stuff like that. It's like my fiance does all that stuff. She's like, let's order, let's make this stuff look better. Let's make it look more professional. You know what I mean? Like I said, you order from like Roots of Fight, Box Raw, like the packaging is like it's like an experience opening it. You know what I mean? You're like, dude, this is so cool.
Right.
Like,
and that's what Critter said about what he liked about the Johnny Cupcake stuff. I remember him bringing that up and saying that, the package was so unique. The t-shirt design was really cool. And when you opened it, it felt like it was this experience. It felt like you were enjoying this moment rather than, here's a brown box or here's
like you're getting like a gift. It's like right. The last thing I bought from Box Raw was the Gervonta Tank Davis like signature sweatshirt that they like put out right before his last fight.
Yeah.
And, like I open it, I'm like, dude, the bag's labeled. You know what I mean? Like, then the tags on it, it's like a regular tag, but there's like 4 or 5 cards in it, and it had like one picture was like a silhouette of him, and then the back side of it like was his whole story. I was like, this is
like, that's cool.
Yeah,
what a cool way to do that, and especially honor a bunch of badass people. Yeah, that's cool. Is there like a certain boxer that you look up to? Is there somebody that you try to emulate their game?
Dude, I can look at I mean, you look at like Lomachenko or any of those guys, and you're like, well, I'm gonna try that next time I'm in the gym. No,
and then you just get annihilated.
Not even how's this not working for me, dude? So it's like you pick stuff from every fighter, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm like probably partial to the Michigan guys, you know what I mean? Like Tony Harrison and stuff. That's like one of my favorites actually. So
but like, especially when you grow up in the area, like you grow up in the area, these fighters, and you spend a lot of time kind of looking up to them,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you got to train with any like cool Detroit boxers?
I like right now I'm with I train with the strength and conditioning coach of Kronk, Jeff Waters. At that first gym I was at, Cornelius K9 Bundridge. He's a 2-time IBF champion. He was training my son, and then there's a couple other guys. But I mean, I go to like Tony's gym and see Tony all the time, but like I don't ever like train with them. I kind of, they have their fighters in there, and I would never ever try to take away any time that is going to go towards somebody that like, has like a career in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or looking to do that. So, I mean, if it came up to where he's like, hey, come down and let's, whatever, I'd be down. I'd probably last about 2 rounds and can't lift my arms anymore.
How many days a week do you think you train?
Right now, only 1, dude.
Yeah.
Take the stairs at work and try to get into shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What does it look like training like for you guys in Michigan? Do you guys have to wear a mask or no mask?
I wear it like a private thing. So, if you want to wear a mask, go ahead. Yeah.
So they're not strict on it.
We have like the temperature, the thermometer, and honest, if you have any symptoms, stay home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New York's a little bit more strict. We have to take you gotta wear your mask the whole time you train. We gotta take your temperature, and it's weird that we can only use an anal thermometer. I don't understand why we can switch to a forehead thermometer.
It's probably New York then.
I'm just kidding. I was waiting for your reaction. You were like, "Oh shit, is he serious?"
Like I was saying, I like as far as like public gyms, I'm not sure what the actual rules are. You know what I'm saying? This is like a private thing, so
all different rules.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's right. Would you ever want to do like a amateur fight, an amateur boxing fight?
Yeah. So I'm like the guys that I'm like training with now. There's like 2 other guys, and they are ready to go. So it's like that's like my goal is like the Masters thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing with boxing. It's so strictly regulated. I always forget. Like it's confusing to me how it essentially works because there's different classes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff confuses the shit out of me.
So
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
the Masters division is 35 years and older, and then I think you got to compete with somebody within 10 years of your age, and then I think within 12 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
What weight class do you think you'd fight at?
I'm trying to fight a heavyweight, dude.
What would you fight at?
I said I'm trying to cut weight because I don't want to fight at heavyweight.
What is heavyweight in boxing? I don't even know.
Well, I weigh 205, so I'm in that range. I believe it's 201 or 202.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
not
the
sure.
thing. In boxing, the weight classes are a little weird.
Yeah,
they're all over the place. I can never keep track of them.
Yeah, like every it seems like 6-7 pounds.
Yeah, right. It's every 6 pounds or something like that. That's what I like about the UFC. 10-pound increments. I don't have to think about shit other than when you get to 170. Then they're just like they throw everything out the window. They're like, screw it.
Going up 15 pounds. You're going up 20 pounds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You watch MMA and stuff too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Who do you think is the best boxer in UFC right now?
Well, after a couple of weeks ago, probably Max Holloway.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Everybody's saying Max Holloway after he lit up Cater, right?
Yeah,
I think it was Cater.
Max is he's a warrior, but I was like, dude, Cater can box, dude. He's got.
I know, and especially the highlights and stuff when he's just slipping the punches and stuff. Oh my god, I get chills when I watch it. I'm just like, ooh, good.
Yeah, he's like
googly.
Commentators. He's like, I'm the best boxer in the UFC as he's like slipping. I'm like,
oh my god.
Are you kidding?
That moment is iconic. That's the kind of moment when I'm sitting watching at home. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be on his highlight reel probably for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like I know he's good. I know he's probably, pound for pound, he should be up there in probably the top 5 like UFC. I don't even know what the pound rankings are, but
for sure. Especially, it's when it comes to fighting high level guys, Max Holloway shows up every time. There is no quit in Max Holloway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, even in that Poirier fight, I felt like Poirier. I think the only issue was that Poirier was just too big.
Yeah, Poirier is a big dude, right?
He's a big 55er, and Max is obviously I know he walks around heavier, but I don't think his frame is anywhere near as big as Poirier's. So it's
man, it's all just it's interesting to me that there's so many parallels between MMA and boxing, but there always seems to be the missing piece to get me totally into hooked watching boxing fights, right? You could ask me right now who the welterweight champion is in boxing, and I have no idea, right? There's so many different divisions, right? Divisions and in East Coast, they're all over the place. And I mean, you could kind of make the same argument for MMA, but there's really only 2 top dogs, right? At least when you talk about
sure. Honestly, I watch probably UFC 99% of the time. I think I'll tune into that Bellator one coming up with Rumble against Yoel Romero.
Dude, that is a UFC fight everybody wanted to see.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
A little late, but at the same time, there's no way it's not going to
Oh my God, Rumble Johnson coming back. Yoel Romero looking yoked at every bit of 44.
Yeah, that's
or 45.
I was just talking about that. I think Rumble, when he fought Glover Teixeira, he hit him with an uppercut, and Glover hit the ground, and then his teeth hit the ground after him.
Oh,
are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Oh man,
who's your favorite MMA fighter right now?
It's hard, dude. It's everybody I like's getting beat up, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what's hard about this. I find myself more times than not saying, my heart says so and so is gonna win, because I love them, but my head says so and so is gonna win, right? Like my head and my heart are always are
Opposite.
at conflicts with each other.
Yeah. But if I had to pick one, man, I don't even know, dude.
I couldn't pick one either.
Yeah, I really like Cody Garbrandt. I know that
Mhm.
he's like kind of chinny, but at the same time, I just love that he goes out and he's like, "Let's throw." You know what I
You know
mean?
what I liked about Cody was in his, there's some fighters that have like a flow state, right? Like when you see them hit a flow state where they're moving that, like Max Holloway versus Cater, right? When he was dodging the punches and he looked over and he was like, I'm the best boxer in the UFC. Whoop, misses a punch, dodges, flows, slips that punch. Like he's in a flow state. And when Cody fought Dominic Cruz, he was in this flow state from start to finish that whole entire round. And I don't think I've seen Cody fight in that same state since that fight. Like
No.
he always just starts swinging at people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, it worked out for when he fought Rafael Sunsao that he knocked out, right? That split second knockout,
Yeah, at the bell. Yeah,
right? I think that was him. I could be wrong.
yeah. I know what fight you're talking about. Though it's like he hits him and then the bell goes off. I'm like,
Yeah, now I'm like, I don't think I have it right, but
yeah. There's also like the same type of fighter that's in boxing, Sean Porter. It's like he may not win all the time, but he brings it every single time. So it's like a fight that I like never want to miss. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter, you said his name is?
Porter, yeah. He's at
I will
140.
look him up after.
Yeah. So
No,
yeah,
that's sweet. So going back to your to the clothing line, how do you the term market a company is kind of weird because it's a very broad term and it covers a lot of things. But how would you say that you market your clothing line? Is it mostly only through Instagram? Is it just through social media? Where do you spend most of your dollars, if any, on marketing?
yeah, it's funny. Like today, I was like driving home, like, dude, what is marketing, dude?
Yeah.
And I tell everybody I talk to, and they probably think I'm bullshitting, but I'm like, listen, I'm not a businessman. Like,
Bullshit.
yeah, like but yeah, people probably think I'm lying, dude. I'm just a normal dude trying to build a brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say probably Instagram and Facebook, and then like it's like it seems like a lot of my friends support what I do. You know what I mean? And it's like the same. There's like the same few people that are getting multiple orders. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, dude.
Yeah.
Like I have a lady that bought a bunch of sweatshirts. I want to say it was like early December, and I was like, it was like the biggest order we've had, and I was like, oh my god, like thank you so much. Like this money's going to go towards the photography, so I can like update not the Facebook, but the website. And then
what are you going to update about the website?
Large again, so it's like, yeah, I'm just like the next step is for sure the website and getting the pictures updated on that to where it's professional, more professional.
I think it looks pretty good too right now.
It's all right.
Who did you use to design the website?
My buddy Jeff, actually.
My name is Jeff. So sorry, that was a stupid ass joke. He put this whole thing together?
Yeah. He I don't even remember how this even came about. I may have like asked him about it, and he's like, let me try it. And he's been helping me out ever since.
Oh, that's cool. Man, it's so cool when you have good friends and you can just kind of pick their brain about stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? To say like, to be able to call up Critter and be like, hey man, I'm thinking about dropping a new t-shirt line. Is there any colors or concepts that you've had really good success with? Dude, I fucking love this shirt.
Dude, so do I.
These.
I think that's like the hardest shirt we have.
Dude, I love that. That is solid. What's the farthest you've had to ship an order out to?
I know we've done overseas. I don't even know what country, dude.
It must have been so weird getting that order from like Thailand or something.
Yeah, it's like over somewhere Europe or I don't know. But either way, even when we first started, it's like I was thinking like, dude, why did people, Tony Harrison wore like this hat on Fox in like June. So
Whoa.
like the company started in like May, and then like June 22nd or 23rd, he wore it on Fox. You know what I mean? And
Whoa.
somebody in California bought the hat, and I was like, dude, I'm shipping something to California, like Detroit Boxing Company. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and then now like the new thing, my fiance does all the shipping stuff, and she's like, hey, through November through December, you ship this many miles to this many different states, this many different countries. And she has all that info. And I'm like, I don't even know where to even log in to look at anything.
Dude, that's okay. So I got a reference, and I did a podcast too with a home inspector. His name is Chris Green, and it is the same thing with him, that his like wife takes care of a lot of the administrative stuff, and he goes out more in the field. And I've got to say, I think that is a recipe for probably the best case business partner, right? Like a yin and yang sort of thing, where you're coming up with all these ideas, the t-shirts, how to print them, all that stuff. And then you have your fiance who's able to kind of like break down these numbers, tell you which prints have been the most successful, where you've shipped to that year. Like that's powerful stuff to have.
Yeah. It's like Jeff with the website thing, and then he's like the one like, hey, this shirt sold the best this year. This sold the best this year. You know what I mean? So there's that, and then there's like my fiance that's like, dude, if it wasn't for her, I'd probably still be like folding the shirt, putting it in like a priority bag, and see you later.
Yeah, right.
But now it's like I enjoy like getting these orders and like tagging them, and like she came up with like pretty much all of that. You know what I mean? The whole shipping thing is like absolutely her.
That's cool. What does she do for a living?
She's a first grade teacher.
Oh, so she does that, and then she's helping you out too with your t-shirt company.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, respect to her. What's your fiance's name?
Caitlin.
Dude, respect to Caitlin.
Yeah, dude. I'm lucky. And like I said, like I have a 7-year-old son that is from a previous relationship, and she's just on it, dude. Like,
that's awesome.
That's
beautiful. You couldn't ask for anything better than that.
No, yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, I'm so blessed, like lucky to. I mean, her in general, but then it's like the benefits of having. It's like just like oh, shit, like
it's a good yin and yang, and I think that's what makes a really good relationship work too. That it's not just so much like you guys like to do everything. You guys all like the same things. You guys probably have a lot of shared common interests, but having that yin and yang and different personalities.
We like serial killer stuff.
And
just kind of hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, she doesn't care for boxing. You know?
No.
Listens to like Rascal Flatts.
But do you know what she does care about is watching her man succeed.
Yeah, it's almost, to be honest, it's like a team effort. So it's not even like me succeeding. It's like, hey, like we are. You know what I mean? So
that's cool.
Yeah, but the thing, like, I get caught up because I'll be thinking so much, and sometimes I don't mention stuff. And I'm like, hey, yeah, this is going on, dude. Like,
right.
Like a few weeks ago, I went to Woodward Sports Network and met up with Art. That has a podcast there. It's like a MMA podcast, and Darren McCarty was like in the lobby, and I'm like, I don't know if you know who that is, but
who is it?
Darren McCarty.
No, who's that?
He's like he played for the Red Wings. He was like one of the I would say enforcers.
Oh yeah, that's the dude that you got the picture with, right?
Yeah, he's got like the hoodie with black. Yeah.
So tell me the story of this guy then.
Yeah, so like I said, he was on the Cup teams in the 90s, and I'm not sure if he was on the Cup team in the early 2000s. They won in 02 as well. So 96, 97, 97, 98 Cup, he was there, and then I think 02. Don't quote me, but he's like the dude that fought Claude Lemieux. Like, if you ever look up like hockey fights, that's probably like the number one.
The biggest one.
The Red Wings just Yeah.
It was a
He's
massive fight.
Yeah, he just crushes people. So it's like that's like the perfect dude to ever be able to put on our stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Art introduced me, and he sat down and we just talked about life. Like it was insane that he actually took the time to even sit down and you know what I mean.
And
So
talk to you, right?
it wasn't like just like sports. It was like real life, like depression and just
Was that crazy for you? How did that feel? That must have been wild, huh?
kind of, yeah. It's like, dude, why would you even want to talk to me?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I'm not like I honestly just keep myself and just keep it moving. Don't really talk to many people. So
Yeah. Everybody's different, especially you don't have to be super social when you own a clothing company. You don't have to be super social. Just enough to get it off the ground and then do a podcast with your new friend. That's all.
Absolutely, dude.
That's cool. So have you been able to train anywhere like outside of Detroit? Has it always been in Michigan?
Just here, yeah. Like we went on vacation in Florida, I think in 19. We're going to go to, what's his name? Jason Perillo.
Mm-hmm.
He has a UFC fighter that fights. It might have been Nico Price trains down there, the hybrid or whatever. He fought.
Yeah, Nico Price, baby.
I think that's who trains there as far as like MMA goes. But
Gotcha.
he actually trains his son there, who's a boxer. I was supposed to go there, didn't end up going. I had my gloves, had everything, and I ended up going to the beach more than worried about that. So
you know what's cool is when what I learned when I travel and train, that I get to realize how like, man, it's hard. I guess what I would say how privileged I am to train in a great school like Taikai, because Taikai has, it sounds silly, but it has 2 rooms, right? There's like the grappling room, there's a striking room, we have a cage, we have a heavy bag room, we have a locker room with more than just one bathroom and more cubbies than just one. I've been able to travel and go to places that don't even have a locker room. You change in like a closet. There's nothing. There's no showers. They literally just have a room that's probably like 15 by 15. You kind of forget how really lucky you are when you kind of have been in a good spot your whole life. You know what I mean? Yeah. And add the benefit is that you get to pick up on somebody else's teaching techniques, or you get to learn from somebody that you're not totally used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I love Chris, and I've been training with Chris, man, for so long. But even when you go from training with Chris to my friend Jimmy, there's just so many different nuances and so many different things that I learn from them every time I go with them, that it's kind of nice. And then you get a whole nother look, because they're not even in the same school as you, when you get to see what other schools are doing and other schools are working. It's just a breath of fresh air, Yeah,
it's like sparring with like a new person anyway. It's like you like trying to set something up, and it's like you notice the little things, but then the next guy doesn't do that at all. He's more of like shoulder roll kind of guy.
Yep. 100%. So dude, I'll share. So we had a guy come to Taikai a long time ago. I think it was probably 2014, 15. It was somewhere in there. And he was getting ready for his Bellator fight. And I was time sparring with him. And we called it time sparring, but the guy was new to our school. He's never been to our school. And I forget what brought him in the area. But he kept throwing a hook to the body, and then he would throw like a leg kick, right? So he would throw a hook to the body, then leg kick, hook to the body, leg kick, through the 4th hook to the body, and then he head kicked me and flash knocked me out. And that was the first time I've ever been knocked down and knocked out, but 2, nobody ever was faking a hook to the body and then a head kick up top, right? But at their gym, that is their money. That is something they work on. That's something that they're repetitive over and over and over again. So it's always interesting to me to see that some schools have their routes that they take. Some fighters have their path that they like to carve out.
Absolutely. Who was that?
Dude, I can't remember the guy's name. Probably because he fucking starched me. But it wasn't like I blacked out and I didn't remember where I was. It was like literally, I remember shielding for the body kick, and as I came up, I came into the head kick, and then the next thing I knew was me hitting the floor. So I don't remember my path from standing to falling.
Yeah.
So I guess I wasn't totally knocked out, but it was still pretty scary.
Yeah.
Because I mean, maybe that's why I don't remember his name, TJ.
Yeah. Yeah. I listened to that, actually, that episode. I messaged you about Mike.
Oh, Mike Musatelli.
Yeah. I was like, such a good story.
Right? Dude,
Yeah.
I like that podcast too because he was especially transparent. And Mike's always been that way. Like, he wasn't just doing that for the podcast. He has always been that way since I've been friends with that guy. Like, he's always just been brutally honest with himself and his friends. And that's one thing that I've always treasured about Mike, is that it was never like frills and bullshit for people. And he's got a really great story from coming up from being amateur, fighting in bars to fighting on the pro scene in Bellator. Like, that's pretty big. That's something you should put your feather in your cap for,
For sure. Yeah. He might not have a belt, but like every experience, like he said, like the Thailand thing, like all that, it's like, you don't get to do that kind of stuff. Like, not many people do anyway. It's like being in a band. It's like, I was telling my fiance, we're like, want to go to the East Coast, and my son wants to go up in the Statue of Liberty and go to the Martin Luther King Memorial. And it's like, dude, I've like, my band has played New York so many times, so I went there for free. So now it's like hard to like be like, I gotta pay.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So to be able to, I mean, even further with him doing that, I know he said Thailand, he got tattooed by somebody. And
yeah. Some Shaolin monk or some shit. It's badass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
That's cool. Dude, next time you are in New York, you need to hit me up. And if I'm ever in Michigan, I'm hitting you up so we can hit Focus Smith sometimes.
Yeah, I'm in.
Dude, absolutely. I appreciate you doing this. I thought this was a lot of fun, and you make some really good quality shit. I really like this sweater, and I'm probably gonna have to order a t-shirt here soon.
Yeah, that one the last one you pulled up, the one that I'm like the hugest fan of that shirt.
Bro, I love that shirt. I'm a sucker for those ones that are like patch on the chest, big display on the back. I'm a sucker for those t-shirts. That's sweet. Dude, thanks for doing this, and I appreciate you.
Dude.
What we'll do is, when this ends, send me like all your links to your social media and website and all that jazz, and I'll put it in the show description. So anybody listening or watching right now, go to the description below. You can click all that jazz, and you can see TJ, and we can support our friend TJ.
Cool. Excellent, dude. Thanks a lot, man.
Dude, you're awesome.
No, you are. Thanks. I appreciate your time, though, for real.